Holy shit, it's a react break. A certified react break in this economy? There's been a video I've been wanting to watch called
You want to have some fun?
Casino Cheating Expert Reviews Card Counting and Casino Scams from Movies. It's recommended all the time. And I never watched it, and I wanted to watch it. So I'm going to watch it. Let's see. Casino Cheating Expert Reviews Card Counting Casino Scams. I love casino movies. I love heist movies. We're just playing a heist game. Let's see if any of them are hold up. Any of them are real.
Fun at home with your friends? You take out 3 cards. Take out the Queen of Club, Ace of Diamond, and the Jack of Spades. Watch that Ace of Diamond.
I'm watching.
When I put it onto the table, you have to bet where it is. And when you bet where it is, believe me, you're going to guess wrong because I put the Ace of Diamonds over here. And all I did was, when I showed you those 3 cards, I made that Ace of Heart look like an Ace of Diamond. Hi, my name is Sal Piasanti. I'm an expert on casino cheating. Casinos all over the world hire me to help protect their assets. Today, we're going to be reviewing some clips from TV shows and movies on casino cheating. This scene is from Rain Man.
Hey, what's your secret, guys? You cheat.
I'm sure he was joking there, but a lot of people do think card counting is illegal and it's cheating. It is not. Card counting is not cheating.
What do you see?
Well, he's not catching the whole card, and he's not pass posting this.
I don't see him using a computer.
Surveillance made some good observations. He's not catching the dealer's whole card, which means when the dealer takes his card, you're not seeing the card underneath. He's not pass posting, which means he's not adding to his bet. And he's not using computers. Now, when they talk about using computers, these are just some of the things they could be referring to. For example, if you look at these shoes right here, this shoe is the only shoe I have where it's cut away so you can actually see the switches.
Sheesh. Damn, are those the new fucking Nike Air Cheats? That's nice, dude. With the fucking computer built right into the sole?
Inside it. But these computers are called perfect strategy computers. They keep track of every card that's being dealt and know exactly what's left. Once the computer decides on how to play your hand, it vibrates on this little solenoid right here to a series of Morse code dots and dashes and tells you how to play your hand. These computers right here could play blackjack better than the brain could possibly imagine. What he was doing what these computers could do, but he was doing it in his head. He was able to keep track of how many cards were left. If somebody is actually playing like that and they're winning and surveillance can't figure out what's going on, sooner or later, they're just going to label him as a card counter. They're going to back off that player and say, sir, your play is too good for us. You're allowed to play any game here except blackjack.
Something's not right. You know there's no one in the world can count into a 6-deck shoe.
That's obviously a false statement because counting down with regular conventional card counting is very easy to do on a 6.
Yeah, I was going to say, they make it seem like you have to be literally Rain Man savant. But from my knowledge, a little bit of practice and you can card count at a basic level. Especially on a 6-deck shoe. Usually like they have 8 or more. So yeah, it's not that hard. Maybe like a week of practice, you can get it down.
6-deck shoe. Just as easy to do as a single deck. All you're doing is keeping track of the ratio of high cards versus low cards. When a deck becomes really rich at high cards, it favors the player for 3 reasons. You're gonna get more blackjacks, you're gonna get more 20s. Number 2, you don't have to hit your 12 to 16s, the dealer must. And then 3, you have additional options the dealer don't. You could hit, insure, split, surrender, double after a split, and no matter what card counting system you use, they are all designed to do one thing, to let you know when a deck becomes rich in 10s. This scene was from Rounders.
I love Rounders.
Nice plan.
2040. Bro, this movie rules. It's not necessarily a good movie, but it is a great movie, if you know what I mean. It's such a fun fucking movie. The funniest part is John Malkovich's performance as this underground Russian mobster poker player. He goes way over the top. He leans into it. He licks an Oreo before every fucking bet. That's his tell. He has this terrible accent, but doesn't matter. The movie is so fun. It got a lot of people into poker. It's a great movie.
That's the game I'm gonna play over.
So when they say 20-40, that's just a betting pattern that's set up for that game. Stud means they're playing 7-card stud. Everybody gets 2 cards face down.
Boring,
and then they get
hold
the
'em
rest
only.
of the cards face up, and then the last card is dealt face down. And you got to play the best 5 out of the 7. That was a real false shuffle. This is the shuffle that Worm used. And these cards look like they're being shuffled. And this is exactly what he did. And you can see they're not being shuffled at all. He did a bookmark. He actually stepped back that top card. And then he shuffled. And then he just put those cards right back on top. Also, the way Worm held the deck. This is called a mechanic's grip. A mechanic is another name for a person who cheats, because a mechanic could fix things, and this guy could fix games. With the deck being held in this position, I could do so many cheating moves. I could peek the bottom card right now. When I square the deck up, I can look right at it. Now I know it's an ace of hearts. As I'm squaring the deck up in my hand like this, I'm looking right at it. I'm buckling that card, but it's all hidden right here. I can peek the top card. My thumb comes to the other corner and pushes it forward.
Bro, this
So that
guy's
card
cheated his way
buckles.
around a
It's
casino.
called a buckle or a bubble peek. I could peek the top card by bringing it up on my heel. I could do the bottom deal. I could deal seconds. And in many of the old books, they say if you ever see anyone hold a deck like this, stay away. But the truth of the matter is, if you go to any casino, this is how dealers are taught to hold a deck. It's a very secure grip. So just because someone does hold a deck like this, doesn't mean they are cheating.
That's what I have. Bet is 20.
All right, so go to Vegas and accuse every dealer of cheating when you lose. That is a good idea.
I know that look. I'm gonna fold.
People might not realize why Mike McDermott folded 3 kings. Well, cheating isn't about the moves, it's about judgment. And he knew that getting 3 kings was gonna be too strong, and that's why he folded that hand. So Mike McDermott, in that scene, used proper judgment, and that's why he got out.
All right, free card. Here we go. 4th Street.
Hold on there.
Whoa, easy.
This son of a bitch is base dealing. Caught a hanger, Sarge.
What is a hanger? Let's suppose I want to deal the second card instead of the top. Well, when I come out, that might happen. That's called a hanger. You can see the second card is coming out, but it didn't make it. I left that second card hanging out. So catching a hanger does indicate cheating.
What are you saying? I don't even know what you're saying.
He's saying you're dealing off the bottom of the deck.
Bottom dealing means that ace, I'm not going to deal it from the top. I'm going to deal it from the bottom. So if I was dealing, when I get to myself, I'll take it from the bottom.
Oh. Ooh, very sly.
Obviously, the most important part is getting the card you want on the bottom. So when I go for the
Had a buddy who accused a dealer of cheating and kicked out of the casino? Yeah, of course. The dealers have no reason to cheat, dude. They're just paid a wage. The profit doesn't go to them. Like, what kind of fucking dealer is so obsessed with fucking Sheldon Adelson, the Vegas magnate, making an extra fucking couple bucks that he's cheating you in blackjack? If you win, you tip. It's better for them. That's what they want you to think. I know a dealer that cheated and got fired. Yeah, but cheated in the other person's favor. When dealers cheat, it's to help the player because they're like working in collusion. Dealers don't cheat to help the casino win more money. I don't know of any dealer that's done that. It doesn't make sense. The casino doesn't want that to happen because it'll ruin their reputation. They already win. They already win more than half. All they have to do is run the game and they make money. It prints money. So if they get caught cheating, no one will go to their casino. So it's not worth it. It's not worth the risk because they already make free money. So they don't want to do it. The dealer doesn't want to do it because they don't make any of the profit. Dealer just hates people who gamble. You're just this fucking evil, sociopathic dealer that just fucking hates gamblers. You want them all to lose?
The shuffle, if you watch the shuffle, I peek down right there.
KDA dealer. A dealer who keeps track of all his wins and losses in blackjack and is really prideful about it. That's actually such a funny character. He gets really fucking... Yes! Got a blackjack! Yes! Better luck next time, idiots!
I just saw an ace. Now I got an ace on the bottom. So I want to keep this ace on the bottom for the deal. When Worm is dealing, the person on his right, the officer, was always looking down at his hand. There were probably some strong hands that woke him up or alerted him. Worm wasn't that observant. He was just going for the money. This next scene is from The Sting.
Stack me a cooler, Floyd.
Come on, bro. We'll be in the station in another hour. The other guys are the big losers. You're still okay.
Fix me a deck, 3s and 9s. I'll cut it in on Clayton's deal.
The term cooler means that you're going to cool someone out. Give him 4 3s, give me 4 9s, which is 2 really good hands. For any poker player who receives 4 3s, they're going to go all in. His partner is going to take a deck of cards, same back design, same brand, and he's going to set them up. He's going to prearrange them. So when he comes out, this deck goes on top of that deck, and then the blue deck gets switched in and it comes out like that. And then this deck gets dropped into a handkerchief. So if there's 4 people in the game, everyone is going to get 4 good hands. Paul Newman's going to get a great hand, but Loneman is about to get one better.
4 9.
Oof. Cooler.
4 jacks.
The switch that he used right there, of course, it's Hollywood, but that would have been a vest switch. Here go my 4 3s right here.
The hats
so
are
if I was
fresh.
going to play this hand right here.
Ooh.
You can see they just got switched. Loneman and his partner just knew Paul Newman received 4 3s. But when Paul Newman turned over the 4 jacks, he double-crossed them. He was the better cheat. This next scene.
Yeah, and they
is from
can't
Austin
accuse him, right?
Powers.
Because then they'll admit that they shoot him. It's a good scene.
17? Hit me. You have 17, sir. I like to live dangerously. 4, 21.
There are cards like that you could only see with either a red
Do we have
lens
the
on
next
for
half?
luminous readers or with contact
okay, I wanna
lenses.
make sure it's in there
But
'cause-
normally, it's just done with series of dots. What I'm about to show you right now is a deck of cards that they call a juice deck. This deck does have a
juice
substance
deck.
on it
Oh, yeah.
that if your eye is not trained to see this, I promise you, you're not seeing it. If you look at this card right here on the table, it appears to be a regular card. But when I look at it, there is one part
XUC
of
deck?
the
Yeah.
card right here that is slightly darker. That indicates a king. There's a little dot dead center. That means it's a 4. Here, there are 2 dots right here, diagonal. That means that's going to be a 7. So once you just memorize that pattern, that's how you know what the card is. To train your eye to see it, first the deck is made very, 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 very strong, where anybody can see it. And then after a while, it's made lighter and lighter and lighter, where pretty soon you're the only one that can read it.
King for you, sir.
Interesting.
3 for you.
One major flaw that I've noticed in this clip is the way they were dealing. Everyone in blackjack gets 2 cards. When they showed Austin Powers' hand, he had a 3, just all by itself, and then the dealer dealt him a second card when Austin Powers should have had those 2 cards dealt in front of him from the start.
I also like to live dangerously.
As you wish, sir. 20 beats your 5. I'm sorry, sir.
This next clip is from Casino.
I love that scene.
Reading the dealer's whole card and signaling his buddy at this table.
Yeah, he stayed on a 5. Yeah, and the dealer goes, "You should hit." I love it. It's just a great scene. You're a dealer and you have players stand on 5, 6, and 7. That's so fucking stupid. It makes me mad. It shouldn't. But when I'm at a card table and someone next to me makes such a boneheaded play, I feel like they're throwing off the universe. I feel like they're taking the cards that should. I feel like they're fucking me up. It makes me mad. I'm like, just fucking You got 2 tens split. Just play right.
The device he used is a real device. It's called a thumper. These are the ace bandages where it gets strapped onto your body. And this is the whole device right here. This goes behind your back and this goes on your thigh. The thigh is the most sensitive part of the body, one of the most sensitive parts. And then this is a toe switch. This goes on your toe or this goes in your pocket, either way you want to do it. This device right here is made for signaling. Anywhere you want to get information from point A to point B, this could be used. And when you press down...
Splitting tens is a bad play. No, it's not. Only if they're showing something good. If they're showing something bad, you definitely split those fucking tens and you make a bunch of squeesh.
With your toe, you could definitely feel this thing. When this thing is vibrating, you'll feel it. If it's poker, I can tell you what hand I have. I can tell you to check. I can tell you to raise. If it's blackjack, I can tell you the whole card silently. Greatest gambling movie made, in my opinion. It's so real world. This next scene is from Ocean's 13.
Everything all right?
I've never seen surveillance rooms that were that secure. Usually you get in with a passcode.
Again, sir, it's in lockdown.
As far as getting locked into a surveillance room and systems going down, I'm telling you right now, that's not happening. I have never heard, I've never seen anything like that. You'll always be able to get out of a surveillance room should the systems go down.
Snake eyes, all of them.
The dice acted very, very suspiciously. These are magnetic dice right here. So these will always get ones.
Oh, shit.
If I reverse the polarity, now you're gonna get sixes on those dice.
Oh, shit. Wait, that's kind of cool as hell.
When he had the lighter...
Bro, there is no fucking world. There is no casino on God's green earth that you roll up and put $10,000 on Snake Eyes and the dice do a fucking magnetic flip to Snake Eyes and they don't ask questions. They don't just pay you out, bro. That is not happening in a million fucking years. I just want
in his hand, that's what was controlling the magnet. When he hit the lighter or hit the switch, that's what activated the magnet to control the dice. That's the hardest part about using magnetic dice, is to make them appear natural. You hit that magnet at the wrong time, you're just gonna see the die flip over when it shouldn't. One of the biggest flaws on that scene, remember, the casino does not have to cash out those chips. If they think something happened,
yeah,
the casinos can refuse to cash those chips out until they do a review. This next clip is from the cooler.
Oh my God. Oh my God, I can feel a kick.
Bro, this movie is so funny. It's like a depressing ass movie about a guy played by William H. Macy who is such a sad sack depressive person that he makes everyone around him unlucky. So casinos pay him to just sit next to somebody who has a hot hand. If someone's like winning at craps, he just walks up at their table and he's like, hi, my name is William. Hi, nice to meet you. And like, he just brings down the vibe so bad that like they just leave. It's such a funny concept for a movie.
The dice do not drop out of the sleeve into the hand. They're usually in the hand before then. Just to show you how dice can be introduced into a game, let's suppose I want to switch these blue dice for these red dice. Watch the red ones. They're switched for blue. And if I want to bring them back, I bring them back.
Oh.
See how this dice switch works like this is the dice are in the palm already. And when you reach down to pick them up, these dice drop from the palm. At the same time, these dice trapeze up. One of the first things that Boxman is...
Okay, but doesn't that just look like you couldn't pick up dice? Assume those are the same color, and you reach down with your hand, and you like, and they just kind of drop out of your... Doesn't that just look like you're like incapable of picking up dice with your hand? It's like a really weird... Because like they're still on the table. You don't lift your hand that high?
...is taught is when you see a shooter throw the dice, always look for a clean
Oh, you're like,
hand.
you're playing with them. Okay, you're playing with them. I get it. You're playing
with them.
with them.
The way dice is spotted, opposite sides total 7. So if I have a 6 on top, on the opposite side of that 6, there will be a 1. When misspotted dice are really used, here's what they look like. Okay? They're called tops or tease. These dice only have the numbers 4, 5, 6 on them. These dice right here are the most preferred method of cheating by professional dice cheats. They're percentage dice, they win the money fast, and you can't lose. With magnetic dice, they can act differently. The dice don't hit the magnetic field. Things can happen, loaded dice. These are guaranteed. And the only reason why they work is because the human eye can only see 3 sides of any cube. If I put this die on that table right now, you can only see a 4, 5, 6. I'm assuming that the person sitting across from me is looking right now at a 4, 1, 2. But guess what? We're all looking at 4, 5, 6s.
Guys, I thank you.
So the cheaters will make their money, switch in the house dice, and keep playing till they lose. And then when they lose, it appears that their streak is over, walk away, and that's the end of the scam. This scene is from Runner Runner.
If he doesn't roll a 7 and crap out, this is gonna cost you 100 grand.
House kids sweat the money. Hey, shooter.
The stick person never passes the dice out with a 7 showing. That's taboo or bad luck. So that's something you'll never see.
How about this? I'll fade your action.
Fade the action means I'm gonna book the bet. Whoever wants to bet, I'll take it.
No roll.
If a stick person thinks something happened, they have the right to say no roll. That means this don't count.
Shooter, can't slide the dice. No roll.
That is a real cheating move. Watch how that looks when the other die is thrown with it. So watch this 6 get slid and watch the other die go with it. But when you see this on a full 12-foot craps table and that die is being spun rapidly, it never tumbles, it's being spun. It's a really good illusion.
Interesting.
That both dice are being
Man,
thrown
there's more
legitimately.
complex cheating
On the
than I knew
back wall,
about.
They have this rubber that has like little triangle shapes we call the alligator. And also the wall has a lip, a 45-degree angle. So if the dice just touch it or hit those alligator part, they're gonna tumble to ensure a player cannot slide the dice.
What shot Jesse James at 45?
If you look at the dice on this clip, you see the 2 and the 5 are next to each other. When remember, the 2 and the 5 have to be on opposite sides because opposite sides of the dice always total 7 on a legitimate pair of dice.
Fuck you, JT, you hack. Your movie has too many flaws in it. Nothing makes sense. He's really ripping into it. Runner Runner, trash movie. Nothing adds up.
This scene is from Schitt's Creek.
I don't think it's an accident that Bob keeps winning.
What are you talking about?
Haven't you noticed how Gwen circles the table with appetizers, constantly eyeing Bob, and then he lays down a big fat bet and wins?
Signaling is very, very dangerous. It's probably the #1 scam that goes on in casinos every day undetected when 2 people get involved with collusion. And when you signal to a partner, you could do it right in front of everyone. To demonstrate signaling, I want to bring in my wife, Dee. So if we're playing poker, remember my wife is sitting across from me. With this hand,
Wait, where did I hear about this? It was on some comedian's podcast or something, and they were talking about how they tried this. Because you can just sit down at a poker, like if you go to Vegas and you sign up solo to play in a poker table, your friend can show up 5 minutes later and say, I want to play poker. And you guys can know each other and no one know you know each other. So you're at a poker table, and if you have a signal, you can just like, for example, the way they were doing it is, is if one of them got aces, they would cough, and then the other person would raise up the bet. So there's a lot more money in the pot, and then the aces guy would win. People do this. I mean, this one's common. I've heard of this one. And the comedian was saying they were so drunk that he coughed and his partner didn't hear. And so he coughed again loudly and his partner didn't hear. And then he coughed and said, aces. And then everyone at the table was like, what the fuck? And then they got thrown out. I think this was on Phil Burr's podcast, but it wasn't. Dude, I cannot remember. It was like YouTube. I was just YouTube clip surfing, but it made me laugh so much. Anyway, good cheating.
I call. If everybody else stays in, D, what do I have?
Straight.
My wife said I have a straight.
Oh yeah, it was the All Things Comedy Poker Table. That's exactly what it was.
You right? She is. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in a case like this, I'm sitting there with a straight. I just called. Now she'll raise me. She has nothing, but she's gonna raise me. When it gets to me, I'm gonna re-raise her. If everybody folds, now when it gets to her, she'll look at her hand and she'll say, take it. And now she'll fold, and look how much money I just won. She knew I had it straight by the way I held my fingers on the back of the cards. Because I held my finger down here, that told her I had it straight. Okay, this is a fine hand. So if I go like this right now, Dee, what do I have?
2 pair.
2 pair. If she signals to me she has 2 pair, I want to tell her what I'm holding. Dee, what do I have?
8s and deuces.
8s and
Holy
deuces.
shit!
And that was done because of my wording. I said the word fine. Fine means 8s and deuces. So we have many different ways of signaling. This next clip is from Now You See Me Too.
There's no way he likes this clip because this movie has nothing real in it at all. This movie is the most stupid. I mean, the first one I thought was fun, but the second one got so fucking over the top. It is literal witchcraft. They're supposed to be like fucking cool, slick, like hustlers. They literally just fucking make it like rain from the sky. They're like X-Men. It's so stupid. What? Oh, me? Yeah, I just looked away randomly when you yelled at me. Yeah. I think there was more to it, but there it is. Anyway. If you want to laugh, it's a funny movie, I guess. What's the rating on Rotten Apples? It's Rotten Tomatoes, and it's not that good. It's like one of those it is not a movie that's so bad it's bad, if you know what I mean. It's so bad I enjoy it, generally. You know, it's over the top, but it's fun. I like the first one more, although the ending of the first one is fucking ridiculous. All right, anyway, let's finish this video because I'm really enjoying it.
The situation, we need a third to take down some of the big pots.
What they meant is they need someone else to help win the pot. You can't always have the same person winning the money.
It's a big game. Soft game.
If they say it's a...
I saw this movie recently, randomly, with my brother. He was like looking at casino movies on Amazon Prime. It's called Shade. It was really good, except for one scene which was so fucking dark. I'm going to just tell you about this scene right now. Okay? This movie is called Shade. It's about like these card counting hustlers in Vegas. They do a bunch of different scams. They're just trying to get by. They're just like scam artists. And all their scams are like relatively benign. They just get a little bit of money, or they trick someone into thinking they won the lottery and like take some of their money. Like it's all like about money. And then this woman, I think, I don't remember. She's like a famous actress. I don't remember her name. I'm just spoiling. I'm spoiling it for you. You're probably not going to see this movie. It's 2003 movie Shade. If you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it. Okay. This woman, like meets a guy at a bar and like pretends to flirt with him. She's scamming him, and I think she's going to scam out of money. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm into that real kinky stuff. Come back to my place and I'll show you." And he's like, "Oh yeah, like whips and chains." And he's just like, "Yeah." And so she brings him into this like back room, and she like ties him up. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you into that, baby?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." And then she flicks the lights on, and it's like a fucking surgical room. And then she has 5 guys come in and harvest his organs. Out of fucking nowhere. It was so fucking dark. It really made no sense with the vibe of the movie. It was really fucking twisted, dude. It was a huge, like, it was like this slick heist movie. And then right after that part is done, it's never mentioned again, and they just go back to the heist stuff. I swear to God, it was so weird. It was so fucking weird. Yeah, I don't know. I just want you guys to know that happened. I need to tell somebody. I forgot about this movie, but that part stuck with me.
Third to take down some of the big pots.
What they meant is they need someone else to help win the pot. You can't always have the same person winning the money.
It's a big game. Soft game.
If they say it's a soft game, that means pretty much you're playing with suckers that you can get away with anything with.
So what you want? Yo, speaking of soft games, not that I cheated, I didn't have to. I'm not a particularly good poker player, but I would be better than the average untrained person. And the softest game I've ever seen in my entire life was the late night Twitch engineer poker tables. The Twitch engineer poker tables in 2014, 2015, it was all of these young fucking engineers with way too much money, absolutely zero fucking knowledge of poker, and they were getting drunk. I was making way less than them because I was a fucking content marketing coordinator who just got hired at Twitch. And I would go play every fucking Friday and like literally double my salary. I was making so much money playing the most basic ass poker anyone has ever played. I would literally just be like, wait for good cards, bet big. And then they would always be like, you don't have it. You don't fucking have it. And they would just dump money. And I swear to God, it worked every time. It was actually so fun for me. And as the company got bigger, more and more people joined, and then there eventually were good players, and the game disbanded. Because again, I'm like medium to bad, and I was making money, but they didn't care. I'm also very fun at a poker table. I will say about myself, I was cracking jokes. I was throwing money away on some big things. But once some serious grinders started to join, the game immediately got less fun because then the engineers started to realize they were just fucking punting money. Like then they never won. When you're playing with me, like I would on average win a lot, but I would still like be fun to play with and not like, but the tryhards absolutely ruined it and the game died. It was so sad for me because like that, it was like I got a fucking pay cut. It was like I got a pay cut once the grinder started joining because it ended the fucking run. Tryhards always ruin it. I know. Yeah, it's the worst part about poker. People that tap the glass.
You play on the square during most of the game.
That means just playing honestly. Just play as you normally would.
Yeah, I like my hand. That's what's known as base or bottom dealing. But I will vary it by stacking as well and dealing the punch, whatever it takes. But don't worry. You'll end up a winner every time.
All stacking the deck means is...
Should have had a computer in your shoe. I did. Yeah, of course. I would show up to my coworkers' games with a computer in my shoe. A couple aces up my sleeve. Yeah, just trying to make my name myself as a new hire at Twitch by fucking robbing my coworkers out of small amounts of petty cash. Even though we weren't playing craps, I would toss magnetic dice and say, I bet it's double sixes. And then it would be right. And then I would cheer for myself. Just a cool way to like ingratiate myself to my coworkers. Make friends. Nobody really talked to me afterwards, but I think they were just too impressed. Too intimidated,
Setting the cards up as you shuffle them. Let's suppose it's just me and you in a game, and I want to set these cards up as I shuffle. So now, if I deal these cards out, I'll give you a good hand. So you got me beat. Dealing the punch means that's a form of marked cards where they put a little bump in the card, like a pinhole. So that way, when you're dealing, you feel the bump. So all the queens and kings might have like a braille system on it. And then when you deal, as soon as you feel that braille, that means you know a queen is coming up. Then you deal seconds.
Interesting. This guy's a true expert. I gotta say this video is very good so far. Because this guy's not only an expert, but he's like kind of charismatic and he's passionate about it. This is one of the better one of the videos like this I've ever seen.
So all you did right there was multiple shift to control the aces and then a bunch of false shuffles. So here go the 4 aces. When you put them into the deck, they look like they're going in. You could do a push through move so they come out the other side. And then from here, now he just does a bunch of false shuffles where this deck looks like they're being mixed. But honestly, they're not. So anytime I want to find those aces, they're going to be there for me. This next scene is from 21.
The only thing I remember of this movie is that, first of all, there was like, a decent amount of good actors in it. Kevin Spacey pre getting canceled. And They picked like the most boring, generic white guy to be like the lead actor for some reason. This guy is like so forgettable. He literally is so forgettable. Like I even as I look at him, I'm forgetting about him, and he's supposed to be the main character. And then I remember one line that has stuck with me for some reason. This guy asks Kevin Spacey, who's like teaching the card counting. He's like, if this is so profitable, why did your last guy quit? And then he's like, he got a job at Google, not Sizzler. That's all I remember. That line has stuck with me for some reason. I don't know why. This is not Tom Cruise, dude.
Being part of a team has many advantages over being a solo counter. For the simple reason is you're playing with more tables, and then when the count gets rich, they call in the big money. Also, you have better camouflage because you're calling people in the middle of a shoe. Is that guy card counting? No, he just came in the middle of a shoe. He can't be counting. Well, guess what? His teammate was. When she leaned back and crossed her arms, that was a call-in signal. That means come over to the table, we have a good count here.
Changing 10,000.
Sweet. Too sweet.
That's a mnemonic aid to transfer the count. So when she said sweet, she told him the count was plus 16. Obviously, they didn't want to get too technical for the viewers, but in card counting, you have two counts, the running count and the true count. The running count tells you the ratio of high cards versus low cards in all of the cards that remain. The true count tells you the ratio of high cards versus low cards in each single deck that remain. How do you get that number, the true count? You take the running count, which in that case was sweet 16, and you divide that by the number of decks remaining.
Ratio plus L,
it's
yeah.
a 6-deck game. If there's one deck...
Plus, unfortunately, not seeing a lot of hair up here. Okay? So you are getting ratioed. Unfortunate.
Played already, that means there are 5 decks remaining. 5 goes into 16 3 times. That means the true count would have been plus
And he's
3.
white. Oh,
Everything
no.
in card counting works off the true count.
8s, split 8s. Can I split those? Jack counts plus 15. 10 plus 14.
Him splitting 8s was the correct basic strategy. Always split 8s when you're playing blackjack. The 16 is the worst hand you can have, so you're always taught split 8s. When you have a high count, you're gonna do things you normally wouldn't. For example, insurance, that's a big tell. When a dealer offers you insurance, which means, do you wanna bet if I have a blackjack? It's not the right thing to do for the simple reason is, there are a lot more non-10s than 10s in a single deck of cards, but when the deck becomes advantageous and there are a lot more 10s than non-10s, then you do take insurance. Well, if I was in surveillance and I'm watching this play, the first thing that's gonna tip me off is the money. The first thing you're taught in the casino is always follow the money. So if I'm watching the money, and this person obviously is counting, but guess what? He came in mid-shoe. That tells me, well, guess what? Somebody on his table is with that person. Well, if you want to go to a casino and you want to be guaranteed to come home with a small fortune, go with a large one, and you'll come home with a small one. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Vanity Fair.
How many times do you think he used that joke in his life? And it still hits. It still fucking hits. This guy rules. Yeah, that was a dope video. I really liked that video. Is there another good one? Special Agent reviews interrogations. Let's watch this one.
What the research tells us is that if you're holding a warm liquid, you will think of me as a warmer person. I've actually heated the cups with coffee or tea, and I would actually hand that to the person so that they would at least be holding a warm liquid and hopefully think of me.
Chat, you're now required to hold a warm liquid, and don't say pee or cum. Because I know that you guys always would say that. So just go get like a hot, heated piss. Piss in my hands. Okay, never mind. Take it back. I take it back. I take it back. You guys are gross. You guys are bad, and you're gross. And you're bad people. Blood? No, don't. Do not fill your hands with blood when you watch my stream, obviously. What are your parents going to say when they walk in and you're watching my fucking stream and your hands are full of blood? They're going to say, wow, this must be a great streamer. He's got you motivated. Finally, a little blood. What I'm thinking you do is just take your fucking Monster Energy, take your G Fuel, and heat it up. Who doesn't love a fucking toasty, warm Monster? Raise your hand if you haven't had a fucking hot Monster. Ban everyone, raise their hands. In the metal can. Yeah. Put the metal can in your microwave and crank that baby up. It tastes great.
As a warmer person. My name is Mark Fallon. I'm a former NCIS special agent. After the attacks of September 11th, I was the chief investigator for the Al-Qaeda terrorist network for trials before military commission, and I have overseen thousands.
Yeah, man, you did a great job. You're a real fucking hero. You waterboarded a bunch of fucking Middle Eastern people and got us no usable information. Thanks, man. Fucking king shit.
Of interrogations. Today we're going to be breaking down interrogation scenes in TV and
Dude, it'd be so funny if the title was like War Criminal Reviews War Crimes from Movies. No, in real life we actually do the war crimes a little bit differently. A little more sadistic than that.
film. This scene is from Knives Out.
Ooh,
Harlan's
I love
nurse.
Knives Out.
She was
love
at the
Knives
party in a professional capacity.
Marta? I guess. Harlan hired her to be around to take care of whatever medical needs popped up. But really, she's like part of the family.
Daniel Craig does a nice job of strategic interrogation, practicing what's known in the research is the strategic use of evidence. Clearly, he has done his research and planning, and then he is strategically utilizing different pieces of information in what we call the funnel approach, where you start broad and then you narrow down the information that you're giving out to see what the responses are. And when you utilize a SHARP technique, you never let the person you're talking to know what's important. And that way they don't know what to hide or resist telling you.
Are you baiting me, detective? You know he doesn't.
Chat, what do you guys think about, like, I don't know, sunsets or Twitch primes or, any of those things? What do you guys think about that kind of stuff? I don't care either way, really. Just, have you guys ever thought about, like, beautiful sunsets? Or even, like, checking to see if you have Twitch Prime and then clicking the button, support your streamer, or whatever. Just asking questions. Don't know what I care about because I never reveal it. Secondhand Flatulence, thank you for the Prime, though. Not that I care, but thank you. Red Ninja, thank you for the Prime. Camus, thank you for the Prime. Captain, thank you for the Prime. Ashbury, thank you for the resub with Prime. Kevin Dickey, thank you for the comment on sunsets. I also love that. No difference to me. Talking Umbrellas, thank you for the Prime. Luck, thank you for the Prime. G-Subs, thank you for the Prime.
And if you think I am dumb enough to be baited into talking family business...
Just because a person resists answering a question doesn't mean that they're guilty of a crime. They may be withholding information, but it may be for a reason totally unrelated to the case you're investigating.
Harlan never allowed any adaptations of his books. Hated the idea.
No.
Yeah. Drives Walt nuts, because that's where the real money is.
Daniel Craig does a nice job articulating his questions so that he is doing more listening than he is asking questions. In an interrogation, I think it's critical to kind of take a step back.
The way I interrogate, glad you asked, I will sit the criminal down. Well, I call them criminal right off the bat. No matter who they are, when I call them for questioning, I call them a criminal. And I sit him down. And then I don't even let him speak, really. I sort of just weave an elaborate tale of how they committed the crime, their motives. And I tell it to him. It takes me about 30 to 45 minutes, uninterrupted of me talking. Just sort of explaining how they accomplished the crime, why they did it, and why they're at fault, and why they're going to jail for a long time. Then, when they deny it, I said, that's exactly what a criminal would say. And I lock them up. That's how the job is done, baby. That's how the job is done.
I think that I instruct the SMART technique, the strategic methods of assessing reliability and truth involves...
This guy never, ever, ever touched grass or got pussy. He rattled that off fucking too quickly.
A first interview followed by an assessment and then another interview to explore those gaps that you've now determined based on your analysis. And that's what we saw in Knives Out. The LeBlanc character is someone that I would be happy to work with in the field. Of course, I don't think I'd have all those knives out in an interview room, but good for the movie. This next scene is from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
This guy's less charismatic. I'm sorry, I'll say it. I'll say it, okay? Someone had to say it. He doesn't have quite the same fucking charm as the last one.
What are you smiling about?
How uncomfortable this guy is. Jacked up the thermostat.
Oh, I love the
got
show.
Table all sticky. Made one of the chair legs too short.
The wobbly chair is another one of those old urban legends. When I came on the job in the 70s, they talked about trying to make the person interviewed so uncomfortable or off balance. There's actually no validity whatsoever to it. What you saw was some negative priming. Jake Peralta appeared to try to make the witness uncomfortable.
Insane from a man who waterboarded. There's no validity to it. We've never made him uncomfortable.
And that's the exact opposite thing that you want to do. You want the person to relax. You want...
All we did was give them warm tea.
To diminish resistance, not increase resistance. What you want them to do is what we call liking, because cooperation is volitional. You want the person to want to help you along, not make them uncomfortable in the interview process. What the research now tells us is that the standard interrogation room that you normally see on television and that you actually see in many police departments is the exact opposite of what you would like. In the more progressive departments now, have what many call a soft room, which has nice, comfortable furniture in it, may have windows in it to open up. That would be a more conducive environment to get information from somebody. From the scenes I've seen from Detective Peralta, he seems to have a great sense of humor, have a lot of...
Bro, that's literally just this.
Fuck the police, headed straight for the underground. They don't like us because we're brown, huh? NWA, N-word with attitude. Nah, proper relatable that though. Fuck the fucking feds, fuck the fucking lot of them. They're all twats. Oh, I don't get why they don't legalise the ganja. Love that shit, fucking smoking all day and night. Last night, mate, I was fucking zoinked. Honestly, wallahi. I was going, get me mash up. So, you in possession of any or?
Wallahi. Fucking, I can watch that 100 times to make me laugh.
Enthusiasm, which are things that I would like to have on my team, but I don't know about his police work. This scene is from The Dark Knight.
I'm gonna need a cup of coffee.
The good cop, bad cop routine?
Not exactly.
Slamming someone's head into a table is the work of scriptwriters. In the real world, you would be prosecuted for that type of behavior.
See, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve.
This wasn't an interrogation. This was just a beating. The Batman movies are great entertainment.
You don't
but
get it. You don't get it, special agent. This is the Batman we're talking about. Okay, he knows what he's doing. How else are you going to stop the Joker?
Reality whatsoever. The goal of any interview or interrogation is to elicit information. In the beginning of this scene, Commissioner Gordon actually had the suspect talking, and that's what yields the best evidence and the best...
Listen, I am all against abuses of the law. I'm against war crimes, unless you are dressed in a rubber bat suit, obviously. And that's why at Guantanamo Bay, if they all wore bat suits, I would look the other way. Okay, it's not a problem as long as they are a superhero, because then you can be extrajudicial. Am I a hero for this? Should I be elected president?
Little do you know how I'm
yes.
breaking while you fall
Finally.
asleep.
Finally, someone sees the truth, calls it like we see it. And The Rock agrees, so vote for him, 2024.
Intelligence. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You should be listening at least twice as much as you're talking.
Where is he? What's the time?
What difference does that make?
Well, depending on the time, he may be in one spot or several.
Clearly, this was a psychotic episode going on, but you could still elicit information from even a suspect like that. You have some challenges in there because any information you get would likely be deemed unreliable. However, it is still information.
Damn, I forgot Batman really fucking lays into him. You know what Batman should have done? Is walked in there with some warm tea. Hey, bud. I want to know how you got those scars for real. Tell me about it. Here, I got some tea on for you. Oh, baby.
What occurred here was ineffective managing of behavior. So when you have someone who is like that, you don't want to escalate because the behavior will escalate. The key is to de-escalate so that you get information out of the person. Commissioner Gordon would not be in police work today. Having someone come in like Batman, you will not get cooperation from that. You may get compliance, but cooperation is volitional, and there's just no way that you're going to get that when you're abusing somebody. This next scene is from The Wire.
Believe me, I've tried. That's the part they cut out. Believe me, I've tried it every different way. I have kicked people, tortured them. They just don't. It's gotta be volitional. Believe me.
So can feel my heartbeat?
Pulse, yeah. We'll start with an easy one. Is your name, in fact, Deshaun Fredericks?
Love The Wire.
Yeah.
True.
The scene here with the copier is one of these urban legends that's been around for decades. What Detective Bunk does here is jeopardizes his investigation. If that suspect did give information, it would be ruled inadmissible in a court of law. And it would really embarrass the department.
And did you and Monel shoot your boy Pookie down on Carey Street just like Monel said you did?
Nah, no.
Bye.
Currently, most, if not all states, allow law enforcement officers to lie in interrogations. There has been a push recently to make that illegal. Some states have made it illegal for juveniles because it has resulted in false confessions and erroneous convictions. So Detective Bunk is practicing some things that we are moving away from. I used to teach because I was taught that an innocent person would not confess to a crime they didn't commit, and that's absolutely inaccurate. 1/4 to 1/3 of the people who've been exonerated by the physical sciences have falsely confessed to crimes they did not commit. And so that's why we need to move away from those approaches that you saw with Detective Bunk. This scene is from The Good Shepherd.
Great show, though. Oh, shit. They're legit waterboarding. What do you think about this one?
I think this is an excellent example of...
If I cut it there. I think this is excellent.
of the EIT program, Enhanced Interrogation Techniques.
I fucking hate how this guy talks. This guy's got so many acronyms.
In which the CIA tortured prisoners. It was part of the CIA MK Ultra program, and Kubark Counterintelligence Manual has these practices in it.
He's fucking ear to ear grinning, dude.
In which the CIA tortured prisoners.
This dude's so fucking happy now. Why are you smiling now?
It was part of the CIA MK Ultra.
Bro, you gave Batman shit for punching the Joker. And this guy's waterboarding, and you're like, this is a classic EIT, bro. This gets me. I'm smiling just thinking about it.
Program in Kubark Counterintelligence Manual has these practices in it. What you saw there is the manner in which the CIA was torturing prisoners to extract information that gravitated to Guantanamo and Abu Ghraib. They are illegal, immoral, ineffective, and counterproductive. And what you saw in that tape are war crimes.
True, though.
Sir, this is lysergic acid diethyl.
They literally just don't even work.
It's called LSD.
So it's bad on every account.
We've had some very favorable
They're not only just
results as a
deeply
concern.
amoral, but they don't even work.
The CIA went and elicited assistance from the most prominent psychologists and psychiatrists in the world and started experimenting with different type of drugs with the thought that they could elicit intelligence from that. And each and every time the CIA has experimented in this way, it has resulted in some type of prisoner or detainee death. There's no truth serum. Sodium pentothal doesn't work. It will get people to talk. You just won't be able to understand, or there won't be any coherence to it. What happens is what's called the signal to noise ratio. Even if they told you something that was accurate and reliable, it would get mixed up and garbled with a bunch of other inaccurate and unreliable information, and it would be difficult to tell the difference. I think The Good Shepherd is an excellent movie to watch because it does accurately depict some actions of the CIA, and you can see the results that occurred. It's just not an
This bro loves watching waterboarding. This is his favorite movie.
excellent movie about obtaining reliable information.
He's seen it like 20 times.
This scene is from the Watchmen TV series.
Yuck.
How long have you lived in Tulsa?
Oh, 5 years. 6, almost 6.
What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
Cereal, I think.
If I defecated on the American flag, how would that make you feel?
Confused.
Nothing in that replicates anything close to reality, not just fiction. It was science fiction. First of all, it wasn't an interrogation. It was a barrage of information. It was bombarding with some sounds and some different lights. Actually not uncommon in some of the EIT program, where they actually played music, loud music, and had people in periods of darkness or light. The problem is none of that elicits accurate, reliable information. It's just meant to subject the person to some type of duress. Nothing in that scene would be conducive to an interview. It's an abomination as far as an interrogation professional goes.
Are you a member of, or do you associate with members of the white?
You know, it'd be a dope way to torture someone. Put them in a room like that and just play fucking Twitch streams at all angles. Just fucking every fucking top Twitch stream at once till they fucking melt down. Yeah, all sizes, dude. Fucking 0 viewer League Andes, all the way up to XQC. Everything's played.
Supremacist organization known as the 7th Cavalry.
No.
He knows.
You sure?
Eyes dilated on all the Rorschachs. Yeah, I'm sure.
Generally, people think that liars might fidget more. There's no science whatsoever behind what's called micro-expressions, where people are trying to look and detect cues about deception. The best method of detecting deception is a known or checkable fact, and that's why you investigate, not just interrogate. The odds of somebody trying to detect deception based on visible cues is about a coin toss. The problem is that law enforcement officers think they're better at it than the general public. It's just slightly better than chance. This scene is from Basic Instinct.
Are your attorneys going to join us?
Mr. Trammell has waived her rights to an attorney.
Did I miss something?
I told him that you wouldn't want an attorney present.
Why have you waived your right to an attorney, Mr. Mill?
Why did you think I wouldn't want one?
I told him you wouldn't want to hide.
I have nothing to hide.
In the scene where Sharon Stone waives her right to an attorney is not uncommon particularly with the higher ranks of people that I've had to interrogate, because they have a feeling of superiority. So that's what you use to your advantage. If a person has a more dominant personality, the better role is to be more submissive, because you elicit more information, and vice versa.
You like playing games, don't you?
Average degree.
Everyone's saying pause time is a certified boomer. You're older than fucking me, dude. Everyone's saying pause is a certified fucking VCR boomer. Literally caught. Caught in 4K, dude.
In psychology, it goes with the turf.
The scene from Basic Instinct has several red
a boomer and a coomer
flags. You would never want to have weapons displayed. That could be used by a defense attorney to say there was some type of coercion with the display of weapons. If I were in charge, it would be a much smaller interview team. It would be me and a note taker. There may be a team that's supporting the interrogation, but usually on a monitor or behind a mirror, having a team of goons sitting around a semicircle of a beautiful woman is just totally unrealistic. You want to develop a rapport, and that's not a team sport.
He's got
the tea, cigarette, though. Nick?
You two know each other?
No.
No.
If I was the lead investigator and there was a apparent connection between Sharon Stone and Michael Douglas, there would be a break called. We would go outside and try to get to the bottom of what this apparent relationship was. And I don't think that I would have Michael Douglas back in the interview room with me on this particular
It is the guy
case.
from Seinfeld, correct.
This next scene is from When They See Us.
Antron McRae and Raymond Santana said they saw you rape the lady.
I never saw no lady.
Who are you talking about? The lady in the park.
I didn't see a lady or hit anyone.
Raymond saw you hit her.
You saw coercion there. You saw a number of different tactics to try to just convince, in this case, juveniles that their only out is to confess. And we see the results of that today, where we're still having people who are involved in lawsuits over false confessions due to similar tactics. What you saw was incredible maximization, right? Incredible pressure. And then to relieve that pressure, they gave them a more favorable alternative to that. The person who's under that type of duress and pressure then takes that alternative as the better option. Many times they think that they'll be resolved later, but unfortunately it never works in their favor. In the clip we just saw
so sad. It's
was
so like
horrendous
fucking
police work, and really what the practice of policing needs to move away from. This scene is from Breaking Bad.
Jesse, you're never boring.
Not boring at all. So, come on, buddy. Share with us. Why were you tossing millions of dollars all over Albuquerque?
I promise you we can hold out just as long as you can.
As long as someone is talking, I will be learning something about them or from them. What we saw the detectives do was nothing that would produce any type of sounds from their suspect there. It appeared that they tried to keep control,
season 4 or 5?
and it's not control that you're looking for.
I
it's
love Breaking Bad.
cooperation. There was no empathy. They didn't appear genuine. I think their approach was lacking in that regard.
Look, I'm only asking for a couple minutes here. You said you wasn't talking. I'll tell you, that kid hates my guts, despises me, okay? Maybe I can get him cranked up enough that he starts yapping.
The suggestion to amp it up in there is nothing that I would recommend. It's not uncommon to work together, share suspects, have different departments conduct interrogations of the same person. What is unusual is that you would just walk away and let it happen without even observing it.
Oh, yeah, they just walk away.
Videotaping of interrogation in many states is mandatory because it captures a depiction of what happens in the room. Clearly in the scene, it's personal for Hank, and turning the tape off, it's a red flag that goes up right there. Right now in the field of interrogation, there is a new wave coming, a wave of science-based methods to elicit accurate, reliable information for effective questioning and effective interviewing so we can move to more effective interviewing strategies to regain trust in our communities and protect the public safety and our national security.
This guy said all the right things, but I don't trust him. I'm sorry if he is on the right side of history. I just don't trust him. I don't get the right vibe. But I guess we said the right things. I just didn't find him as charismatic as the last guy. Which is funny because this guy's saying everything right, and the last guy was like, this is how you cheat a million different ways. But somehow I think the last guy was more trustworthy. The vibes are off, dude. The vibes are off. Unfortunately, it's 11:15. I'm having a lot of fun. I didn't know how good these were. I want to watch more of these. But I got to end stream for the night. Because I have work. Unfortunate. Unfortunate, really. But such is life. C'est la vie. I have to get up. And I got to pitch some ideas that I've been working on. NVIDIA. I got to hand make the graphics cards. But chat, I'll be back. Tomorrow, best tweets. Best tweets tomorrow. Tune in. The best tweets of November and maybe even early December. I got some funny ones. We'll be back tomorrow with that. And I hope you enjoy. I hope you're here. And we'll do more from there. Thanks for watching. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me take Monday off. No big deal. I just had a lot of work to catch up on. Hope you have a great night. Hope everything goes well tomorrow during the day. And I'll see you when I see you. Peace. Deuces.